Hi there, my name is Jake, and this is my now and then, or then and now, either way. It's going to be a fun story to think about. So, I took the time this weekend to really kind of sit down and try to think of like all the last courses I've taken here at Bethel and just kind of reflect on my time so far and kind of like, okay, what have I learned? What have I, improved on? And what has worked for me? It's taking a look at myself coming into this, like I would say personally, I was more of like, I've been a, retail management before. I know I've done some of the dances already. I've, took some of the swings and took some of the hits from, leadership point of view. And with the coursework, you learn names of these different styles that you learn, like what kind of leadership you are. Like I personally am more of in favor of like the servant leadership over any other kind of leadership because I feel like coming from someone who's worked from the bottom to the on their way up the corporate ladder, I didn't want to be the corporate meat suit who just sat there and said, "This is the lines that corporate told me to tell you." Bye. I mean, I've had dealt with managers and leaders who are that way. I mean, when I got my last job when we got let go, I'm not gonna lie, it was over a Zoom meeting instead of getting my good old pink slip and so I can carry it around going, look guys, I'm going bye bye. Not I didn't get that luxury of it. It was seriously someone reading off a script like this, not even looking in the camera, kind of as someone servant leadership kind of thing. I was like, oh you've lost my respect, period. And that's totally, unfortunately, I don't want to be mean because it like sound like a bitter former employee, but it just kind of felt like corporate meat suit kind of thing, just saying the lines, not being human. And I mean, even though it's over a computer, we can always look at this nice little thing called the camera. Like it's right there. Please look into it. You are talking to people, your peers. Respect us. Some of the other things that I learned with this class that really stand out, like well, not this class in particular, this class in particular, this one is leaders are just people out on a walk if they have no followers. That really kind of like, wow, not to be over like dramatic about it, but like that is something to really think about. Because a leader is nothing without his followers, and their followers are nothing without a leader. So you kind of form a good relationship like that. And it's like for me, it was doing servant style leadership. Just like, hey, I will help you guys out. I'm gonna be on the front lines with you, and I'm just gonna be getting screamed at by customers just like you. I'm gonna get the customers who are screaming at you. I'm gonna take care of those ones too, and I'm gonna make sure you sit back. I'm gonna teach you some more skills, help you out, help you build, help you grow, and you can watch me take care of them. And maybe one of these times you'll be able to see someone who's newer and just jump in and be like, hey, I can help you out. As a leader, that was when I worked with someone. One of the more proud achievements I ever had was getting one of the people we hired in, worked them up, worked them from the bottom, got him promoted up there too with us, like joined the management team. It was high fives, all around. It was much respect. It was as a leader, that was the proudest I've ever been. I don't care about. I mean, I'll say it like this: monetary bonuses don't as matter as much as like accolades of like helping someone achieve. I mean, yeah, sure, money is awesome and cool, but have you ever made someone like got them going and watched them take on their own followers and just it just warms your heart. It's one of those things is you can go, yep, I did that. I helped. And you can see them doing the same thing you did. And it's just fun to watching the cycle just repeat and repeat and like less work for me to do. I like watching it now. It's and also you always still help out. Another thing I really love about these classes was doing the whole personality test kind of thing to see what kind of person, like what kind of leader you would be And I landed in the ENFP campaign, like in that. So it was like, oh, great. There's not so many, we're known as the jokesters and funny comic relief people. If you looked on some of the video, like movies, we're always the ditzy person, which makes me go. Anyways, no, we're not that. I mean, yes, sure, some of us are Andy Kaufman's and Robin Williams, but and Michael Scott's. But if you really think about it, like Michael Scott was a great leader. He helped his team and make them feel great, and actually turned his numbers around. So in a way, yes, we can function. And looking at like some of the political leaders, there were people who stepped up in times of like unprecedented turmoil and all that, and just was able to take charge and be like, hey, I am an idealist leader. I have a crazy idea. Want to follow? And that just, blows my mind to think like that. Like, it's like we're living in the modern 21st century. We didn't have, in my lifetime, cell phones that, they were flip phones that you just made calls and like crudely text people and with pixelated potato quality pictures. It was, now we're taking video of learning and working all remotely, and some people are doing it from their phones. It's just, as a leader, I'm thinking like with my personality, I'm like, be that change. Like Apple, think different. I mean, I don't want to get copyright from them, but it's that kind of whole thinking. Like, be different. Or we're in a time period where the status quo is always changing. It's not going to be always. We're going to always be in this building or something like that. And some of the things I've noticed going through these courses, like I wouldn't say I've changed too much, but I've kind of gotten a little bit more disciplined with myself. Work a little bit harder. I mean, yes, some days it gets long and I will lose my voice and lose my mind a little bit, but in the end, it's been worth it. Growing, like, I mean, even like, because I know with Bethel, we want to grow our brains and then, grow as spirituality. I'm someone who's not so religious, come from a non-religious background. I still am going to be the person who believes in humans, believes in other people. I want to listen. I want to hear your beliefs. I'm not going to judge you. I want to learn. It's exchange of ideas. I mean, even though we may contradict each other, I'm not going to be like, fix it. So going forward, is, staying curious and staying, a healthy mind with it. Let's see. One of the other things I really enjoyed about this program is the cohort. There is two other guys who I've had numerous back and forths with our discussion posts. Some have been, like kind of butt heads because, we don't exactly see eye to eye. And sometimes it's light humor banter with each other. It's really nice, and we've worked on group projects together, like with Andrew and Michael. I mean, those are my two guys who I've worked well with, even though we don't see eye to eye, and we're totally different personality types, and we're totally different backgrounds, but we will actually sit down and listen to each other and learn from each other. Like, sometimes one of us will get the concept in a total different light, because, textbooks are open to interpretation, too. I mean, it's not exactly, music theory or rocket science now, where it's, exact rules. With, like, leadership, it's theory. A theory, you can test it, and you have to bend it and shift for the variables. Some of the other things I really enjoyed about it in this course is learning, like, the different styles of leadership. So I can learn to be, not just the servant leadership, trying to be more of a transformational leadership, too. Some of the things I really think leadership's also a lot of teaching, and then you have to have that charisma and like you're born with it. You can learn it a little bit, but a lot of the times it's already ingrained in you. That is something I really enjoyed about the course too. Like, trying to look like, what is the ideal leader? Sometimes it is someone who is strict and stern and just all charisma. Sometimes it's charisma and like empathy. And just taking the time to think back, this course has actually helped me out quite a bit. And thank you for the time, and have a wonderful day.